Hello, my friends, and welcome back to yet another episode of Edit with Me. My name is Kelly. I will be your editor today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It is Friday afternoon, and I am feeling so excited and ready for the weekend. We have got a big weekend full of stuff going on with my husband and I and our schedules, and I just love weekends like that. Also, I get to shoot, and that's, one of my favorite things. So we're going to do a quick and easy edit today of this sweet baby in a basket, and we are going to be discussing branding yourself. Not branding like cattle, but putting yourself out there in a way that is reliable and trustworthy and aligns with your vision and your art for your business. So if that sounds fun, we are going to be taking this sweet image of a baby laying in a basket in a field from raw to ready. I hope you guys are ready. Grab your coffees, settle in, and get ready to edit with me. Alrighty, welcome back. I love that intro. That song, just every time I hear it, just makes me like, oh, yes, let's get into this. A lot of you had said you really love our channel because it's fun to see how other people edit. And I so agree. That's one of the reasons I started this channel. I wanted to share editing and help you equip yourself and gain confidence. I want you to learn to trust yourself, to always be learning something new, and to help develop your eye. So what I want you to do before we get started chatting branding and all those fun things, I want you to take a big deep breath, roll your shoulders, give your neck a couple swirls, take all that tension away, whether you're sitting at your desk like I am, or you're sitting in your bed or on the couch, whenever you're watching this. I want you to take a huge deep breath. Let's do it together. Ready? Let's do one more for good measure. We do not take enough time to breathe for ourselves. Do it again. Ready? Big, deep cleansing breath. Okay. Open your eyes. Look at this image. Darling baby, super serious, staring right at the camera. What would you fix? Yell it at the screen. Tell me in the comments. Whatever you feel normal doing. What would you fix? To me, I hate the color of the grass. Way too neon. Unfortunately, in South Florida, in the middle of summer, our grass is green, and I have to fix it in every image I shoot. So that's the first thing I want to handle because it is 3/4 of the image. The second one, I want to warm up those colors and I want to add a bit of light leak in there. That is part of my branding. So we're going to talk about that today. What would you change? Let's do this together. Are you ready? Before we start, I want to help ease your mind about branding. Branding is one of those things that it is different for every single person that is in business. At least it should be because it's as unique as you. My brand, I could probably rattle off some of the things to you. And I actually have a funny story I'm going to tell you a little bit later. But I'm going to start and set up our mind frame with a quote. And I found it actually on Pinterest. I'm not sure who the original person was, but Hillary, the Smart Lioness, quoted it in her blog. And it says, "Don't be afraid of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself by trying to please those around you." Oh, preach it. Preach it. Do not be afraid of losing people. I think that's what keeps us from making so many decisions in our businesses, friends. We're afraid of losing people. But it's your business. It's your art. It's your editing. It's your whatever you are, even if you're not a photographer. This is your business. Communicate yourself. Don't be afraid of losing people. If people resonate with your... Sorry, that was my dog's chew toy. The minute I start recording, she decides she needs attention. Sorry. Anyway, the minute that you start putting yourself out there and be true to yourself and your message, if it resonates with people, you are going to get lifelong followers, clients, whatever the case may be. If it doesn't resonate with people, you are going to lose them, and that's okay, because when you do lose those people, you're going to gain people that actually buy into what and who you are. All right, before we get really deep into that, because I'm not sure, but I can talk a lot about that subject. Before we get into that, I'm going to just give you a brief rundown of what we're going to do today. We're going to be editing this gorgeous photo with a preset. So it's going to be much quicker than some of our hand edits usually are. But I want to scream these presets from the rooftops because I am obsessed with them and I just found them and I'm loving them. So that is what we're going to do. I am going to be, I always apply my preset absolutely first, and then I go down the line and I make all my tweaks after that. So we're going to come up here to presets. Now I am working in Lightroom CC, as you know. So if you are working in something else, Lightroom Classic or ACR, your panels are going to look different, but they are going to have the same general makeup. If you are a beginner and you're still lost into some of this stuff, I am going to link up in the top right my video for beginner editors, and you can go in and see all of that fun stuff and get a little bit of a better idea of what all of this means. But I'm just going to assume that you've been following me, that you've been watching my videos, and that you've got a pretty good grasp on things as we go. Okay, so I am going to come all the way down here to Luminous Presets. I will have the link to purchase these if you love them. They're not mine. They are a friend, Chloe. I love her. She makes these presets. She does such a good job. And they are some of my favorites. I have two absolute favorites that I'm operating with right now. One of them is Luminous Presets, and then the other one is a Wandering Tribe, and I am loving both of them so much. But you know how it is when a kid gets a new toy. They just play with it as much as they can. There are some wonderful, beautiful looks here, but we are going to apply Awake. Awake is so beautiful. I love it so much. And we're going to apply Awake here. Now, for my own branding, there is a certain look that I love. Now, this is beautiful and it's bold all in itself, but there is a look that I gravitate towards, and it's not super, super dark blacks and contrast. You may look at this image and go, great, done, wonderful. I don't do that. I want to make it my own, and that's what I want to encourage you to do as part of your branding. Okay, so we're going to come all the way down here. I'm going to, as always, do my mass adjustments first. I remove chromatic aberration, and I increase my sharpening, I increase my noise reduction, and I increase color noise reduction. And that's going to give me that really creamy skin tone. Some preset collections you don't need to do that with, but the way that Chloe has created hers, I definitely would recommend increasing the color noise. For sure. Okay, and then I add in a little bit of grain. I'm just going to do my standard tweaks here so you guys can see. I call this the Kelly recipe. I don't really know why. I find with a little bit of these tweaks, it makes such a big difference. And so it's become just very rote for me. All right, now we are going to work on this green. It is lovely as it is. I love the unsaturated deep green mint tone. I'm actually going to push up the mint a little bit more and pull down my luminance even more because I want it to be dark and moody. And I'm going to toggle on off and on, and I want you specifically to look at the greens. Look at the neon green, and now look at that beautiful desaturated color we've got going on in there. Oh, so pretty. So that's a trick to do it without having to change coloring in Photoshop. All right, we are going to keep going up here, and I am going to add in a little bit more warmth. I find that I have to do this with almost every preset simply because, you know, I am shooting for me. I'm not shooting for the creator of the presets, right? So I want to add it to myself. I'm not going to mess with the point curve today. But I am going to come in here and do a couple of little minor tweaks and things. I'm going to push up my blacks just a little bit more because, let's be real, this is a picture of a very innocent, sweet baby. I don't want it being overly dramatic, right? I'm going to pull down my shadows to give a little bit more depth. I'm going to pull down my contrast just a touch, and I'm actually going to increase a tiny bit of exposure. Now I'm noticing that I'm losing this edge of her cheek right here. So I'm going to pull down the highlights and see if I get that back and pull down my whites. Oh, good. Now all of a sudden I can see her cheek much better. I'm going to toggle off and on for you. And then I'm going to open this in Photoshop, and I'm going to dive into my branding talk. So this is the before and this is the after. Look at that difference, friends. Look at that difference. Now we're going to pull it into Photoshop and have some fun. Okay, right click, edit in Photoshop. And I want to ask you some questions about your branding. If we were sitting down having coffee or tea or water with lemon, and I said to you, what is your brand in 3 words? Would you be able to tell it to me? Mine is genuine, bold lifestyle. I shoot for the moments. I don't do posed. I don't do watercolors. I don't do any of that stuff. I do genuine, bold lifestyle images. That's my brand. That's what I want people to get when they look at my images. It is so crazy to me when you start having a clear picture of what you want your brand to look like, and you do a good job of selling that in every post, in every gallery, in every review, and all of your copywriting, your clients will buy into that. Here's an example. I was getting ready for a session, and one of my dear clients said to me at the very beginning, we got there, I go through this little spiel and I say, this is what we're going for. Do you have any questions? All that stuff. Well, before I could even do that spiel, she said to me, I know what you're going to say. And I was like, you do? What? Because it was crazy, chaotic. We were getting the kids dressed and all that. And she goes, you're going to tell us to relax. You're going to tell us to stay close. And you're going to tell us to let the kids be themselves. And I was like, oh my gosh, you are so right. And she goes, I told my husband in the car on the way here that Kelly is going to want us to be genuine. So don't fake smile and let the kids play. And I was like, oh my gosh, you stole the words right out of my mouth. It is so true. When you do a good job branding yourself, when you do a good job in your communication, in your copywriting, your clients are going to know exactly what to expect from you, right? I was just so tickled by that because I was like, girl, can I hire you to write my copy for me? Like, you totally get it. And she's like, I'm telling you, when I'm looking at your images, I have a lot of friends that I follow on Instagram. She goes, I know instantly that it's a Kelly picture without even looking that it was from you. And that tells me right there, friends, that I am doing a good job, not a good job, yay, pat on the back, but I am doing a good job of staying consistent, of branding my stuff and myself to be in line with what I want to share with the world, okay? So that is very important. I want you to stay true to yourself. Push a little pause on there, and we're going to talk about what I'm going to do. We're going to play and have some fun today. You could go completely crazy here. You could clone all these flowers and turn them beautiful if you wanted to, but I actually like the completely organic looking. Sorry, that was my dog. She's upset because I'm ignoring her, if you could hear that growl. I actually like the organic random pattern of these flowers, so I'm going to leave them as they are. I'm going to come in here, and I don't have very many things I'd like to do to this. I'm going to add a sunburst. And I've used this Photoshop action many times before. This is from Sujata Setia. I love her. Now we're going to talk about how to apply this, because look, this is an actual sunburst. It's an actual circle. So as I move it around, you can see it's bright in the centermost part, and then it gradually fades. It is the most natural thing I have ever worked with, truthfully, and that's why I use it. If you can see over here on my panel, I have one Photoshop action set, and that's Sujata's. I do not need new ones. I don't go after them. I use hers only. I love them. So easy to work with, and she's amazing, and I love supporting fellow creators who I feel are doing amazing in this industry. Okay, so I will link those also in the description if you'd like to find them out. But down here, a lot of people get really scared with this gradient fill box. This is basically how you adjust this. You can make it a much bigger angle. You can make it a much smaller angle. I could make it fill my entire screen if I wanted to. And if that still isn't working, I could always make it bigger. See? You can mess with these numbers and you can't ever do anything wrong. Just flip it back to where it was. You can make it bigger, more gradual, smaller, whatever you want to fit your needs. I'd like a big glowy sun Oh, that looks awesome. Okay, so before I click OK, I'm going to place it exactly where I want. Now, this is kind of up to interpretation, but I want this whole quadrant to be glowing with that scrumptious light, but I don't want it to be affecting the baby's face in any way that I have to brush it off. Okay, so a natural meeting point to me would be this basket right here, because you're changing colors from the green to this, so you're not going to get a really harsh line. But the eye naturally brings in the warmth from the mustard. So, all right, I'm going to click OK. I'm going to pull this the opacity down just a tiny, tiny bit on that, maybe to 80. 80 looks good. And flatten my image. All right, now we're going to add a portraiture, which you guys know, portraiture smooths the skin and makes things look really polished and beautiful. That is part of my branding. Every single image I post on social media, I use portraiture for, because I just really favor the look that it gives my work. I don't apply it super strong. I don't like fake looking subjects or really shiny or glossy skin, but I do it a bit. And then I go in and I add a little bit of sharpening. So that's what we're going to do right now. So let's get back to branding. Okay. What do you have brand colors? A great idea is to develop some brand colors for yourself. And when you are setting up your Instagram feed, or Facebook or whatever, you want to mirror those colors. One great way that I do that is these are literally my brand colors. And there's a reason I picked this image. I use leather, raffia, white a lot in my work. I use mustards a lot in my work. I use teal a lot in my work. And I use hunter green a lot in my work. Okay. Those are the colors I'm drawn to. Those are the colors I love. If I could add one more in here, it would be a rust. But those are the colors that I love. That speaks to my brand. And if you go onto my Instagram and you scroll, you will see, unless it's an in-home session, the things that I style and I shoot are very much aligned with those earth tones. Now, one way that I kind of brand that, sorry, we're just going to flatten this here, and I'm going to work a little bit on the baby's eyes and we'll be done. One way that I brand that is because I love quotes so much, I will make a quick little quote that I love and want to share with my audience. I will make one in Canva. I will choose one of my brand colors, which is, like I said, that hunter green, that mustard, teal, rust, and this leather brown. I will choose one of those and put it as the background and put white text over it and share. And so what that does is it helps develop your cohesive brand, because you're having these boxes of your brand colors thrown in your Instagram feed. And all of a sudden, your feed is starting to look consistent. It's starting to look coordinated, but not in a fake way. Not like those checkerboards that used to be popular, right? But every so often, people are going to see the quotes. It doesn't have to be quotes. It could be something fun that you love that is meaningful to you. Okay, I'm going to pause there for a second. I am going to Control S to save my image. I'm going to pull it back into Lightroom and make sure there aren't any more tweaks that I need to do before we're done. I told you this was going to be a very quick video today. That's why presets exist, right? Because it makes your editing so quick. All right, this is going to import from Photoshop, and this is the one I did for you guys already. So I will click on that while we're waiting. Oh gosh, I lost where I was now. Oh, okay, so that's what I was going to say. Here we go. Voila, there's our finished. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Okay, I'm going to go back to our before and show you where we started so you can get a picture of where we started. So there's the complete before and there's the after. Such a huge difference, right? Love it. I love it so much. Such a sweet baby, that Millie girl. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. But for branding, what I want you to take away is don't be afraid to lose people. You show you. What are the things you love and the clients you want to shoot? This is your business, my friend. Take it and run with it, okay? Second thing, make sure you're consistent with the colors that you're showing so that people understand that they're going to get that, right? If I'm always showing beach sunset pictures and then in-home sunset pictures and then newborn pictures and then breastfeeding pictures and then a landscape and that people are going to be like, okay, well, she's a photographer, but like, what can I expect with a session with this person, right? So for that reason, I show a bunch of the same stuff at the same time, and then I'll kind of switch gears. Now I go chronologically with my clients, but I will look for tones that are similar so that when you're looking through my entire feed or my website, you get a complete picture of my brand. Okay. That's the second thing. The third thing is, what are the 3 words that when you think of your brand, what are the 3 words that pop into your head? More importantly, what are the 3 words that you want your clients to conjure up when they think of you? Because your business is going to be synonymous with your name, right? And you want people to think those things when they think of you, and when they recommend you to others, and when they post about you in their stories, and when they're chatting about you with their friends at the bar. Okay. You want those to be at the forefront of their minds. So if you don't have 3 or 4 brand words yet, don't worry. We all work at this at our own pace, right? But I want you to really spend some time today thinking about that. All right. I'd love to hear what questions you have about branding. I am by no means an expert, but I am a lifelong student and I am always learning about that. I am kind of a nerd because I have a ton of YouTube channels that I follow on branding. One of the ones I love, and I'm just going to put her up in the corner, is It's Modern Millie. I love her. She's so good. And cute and easy to listen to, and she's got such good information. So if you want somebody for a guru in branding and marketing, I would suggest her channel. All right. I am going to let you all go. I want you to take another deep breath. You can do this, my friends. It's not hard. I believe in you. You just need to follow what you want out of your business, what you can do. Shoot for you, and the clients will come. I promise they will. I promise they will. Never forget that you are loved, you are worthy, you are valuable, and the world needs your lens. Let me know if you enjoyed this by sharing, giving it a like, or writing me a comment. Or until next time, my friends, take care of yourselves. Bye.